Hey guys, how are you doing today? I hope you are doing wonderful. So, how many of you out there are serious about launching, leading, and scaling in your healthcare staffing agency? How many of you? Well, one of the things that I like to share with my clients is this: in order for you to build, create the most profitable and successful staffing agency, you have to be ready. And I'm going to sit down and talk with you like I'm talking to one of my employees about building something. When it comes to building a staffing agency, the first thing you have to bear in mind is the fact that this is not just an overnight success venture. This is something that you want to build, you want to create, you want to put all your focus on it, your energy. You want to do that because there are challenges that you will be facing. So, the first thing that you want to do is to have the mindset of success. Write that down. Have the mindset of success. Because without that mindset of success, you cannot build a fruitful, a profitable healthcare staffing agency. The Bible said that God gives us the power to get wealth. And in order for you to go for that wealth, that abundance, that harvest that's there in a healthcare staffing agency, you have to have the right mindset. And in addition to the fact that you are going to have the right mindset, make up your mind, have that strong determination that no matter what, you will not fail. In order for you to do that, you have to start thinking service. What am I going to give back? Because from my experience, too many of us fail in business because we have the mindset of just getting. But it's about time you start thinking, what am I going to give back? What am I going to give to the hospitals? What am I going to give to the schools, the long-term care facilities? Because healthcare staffing agency they are looking to you. They're expecting you to send them their best staff. Many staffing owners, they just want to send and assign nurses and respiratory therapists, LPNs, and CNAs to organizations. Doesn't matter if they're qualified. You can't build your business from that. You cannot build your business by just assigning healthcare professionals who are out there unqualified. They were fired. You have to secure the best because the organization is looking at you. They are looking at you to see who you are going to send. They trust you. Remember when you were a staff, if you're a nurse out there and you were working in the ER or in the ICU, you remember when you have agents and nurses show up, and if they are not good, you know your night is going to be bad. You don't want to send those kind of nurses, CNAs, or LPNs to your clients. They take note. You want to excel. You want to be the best that you can be when it comes to owning a staffing agency. So that mindset shift is so important. Start thinking giving back, service. I want to do the best I can to send the best nurses, the best allied health workers to my organizations, to my clients. All right. So that's your first thing that you want to do. Your mindset shift is so important. The next thing you want to do is you want to ensure that your business is legal. Is your business legal to go forward, to move forward? Meaning that, do you have all your paperwork done? Do you have all your licensure? If you are living in a state or if you're operating in a state that requires a specific healthcare pool license, like say the state of Florida, do you have that license ready? Are you ready to go with your business? Is your business registry? Do you have the appropriate EIN number? Do you have bank account? Do you have your workers' compensation? Do you have your professional liability? Is your business set up appropriately, set up for success? And one of the things I always say is, before you check that piece off that your business is ready, have a CPA, a certified public accountant, take a look at your business. Have them look at your business. LegalZoom is a very great resource out there. You can pay them a small fee and they can take a look at your business to ensure that it is structured right. So the legal aspect of your business is key. Number 3, do you have a business plan? And how relevant is that business plan? Meaning that, is it a business plan that you can't even understand yourself? It has so many pages, you don't even read it, you don't even review it. Listen, I know so many millionaires, billionaires without a business plan. I'm serious, never had a business plan. But am I saying that a business plan is not a good thing? Is it not relevant? Is it not important? No, absolutely not. I'm not saying that. A business plan is important, but I don't want you to focus too much on having a 20-page of business plan that you never look at. You never read it. A business plan is so important when you're scaling your healthcare staffing agency. However, it has to be that simple that you can take a look at it on a regular basis as far as your growth is concerned. Every day you look at it. Where are you at the moment? Where do you need to go? That kind of a thing. Do not have 16 pages of business plan that is of no value or no use to your company. Okay? The next thing you want to do is decide on how you want to brand your company. What's your branding looking like? Meaning that, how am I going to position myself in the marketplace? Because your brand is not your logo. Your brand is this. What is your client going to say about you when you're not in the room with them? What are they going to say about you on a regular basis when you assign your nurses, your CNAs, or your allied health workers to them? What are they going to say about you? Are you CEO of your company? You remember when you were working in the hospital, when your CEO or your CNO walk around and do rounds, you look at them as, man, that's my leader. They have my back. That's the way you're going to brand yourself. You're a great leader. You have your staff back. You are going to create such a powerful company with a great image that they will say great things about your staff, great things about your company, great things about the leadership of the company. So branding your company is so important. Yes, a website is not branding, but it is also part of the branding process, meaning that you must have a great website that your potential clients will be looking at and say, hey, at least she means business. Some of us don't have a good website. Get a great website with your services and ensure that if one of your potential clients decide to click that website, they're going to be very, very proud to partner with you. No organization wants to partner with a company that doesn't have a great image out there or a great reputation up there. They don't want Joint Commission to know that they partner with you if you're out there with all kind of things about your company on social media, negative things, negative employees. You have to know that. When you partner with a huge healthcare system, they want to be proud of their partner. They want to be proud of you. So this job of healthcare staffing that you want to own, it's a big deal. It is not something that you can just say, listen, I'm going to hire some nurses here, I'm going to hire some CNAs here, and I'm going to just assign them to work in the hospital. It's more than that. It's position yourself to lead an organization and supporting your client to take their organization to the next level. And see, that's why many of us cannot get contracts, because we see it as it's just a money making venture. It's not just that. Think service, servant leadership. So that branding and that image that you want to be displaying out there, it's powerful. It matters. It matters. Branding yourself matters. Then the next thing you want to think about is your niche. How about your niche? Who do you want to serve and who do you want to assign? Meaning that who do you want to hire and what kind of clients are you looking for? Are you looking to go in the correctional departments? Are you looking to go into the schools? Are you looking to go into the long-term care facilities? Or are you looking to go into the physician's offices, the clinics, the urgent care, or the hospitals? You can decide. Can you cover all of them? Absolutely, yes. But when you're new and you are just starting out, my suggestion to you is this: start small and hone that. Just grab a hold of that and ensure that you know exactly, acclimate yourself appropriately in the hospitals before you decide to go to the long-term care, or acclimate yourself in the long-term care before you decide to go to the hospital. Pick one and excel in that one. Get some great nurses, get some great CNAs, get some great allied workers. Make sure that they are trained appropriately. Assign them. So you're going to choose your niche carefully. You don't want to do all at the same time. Little by little, when you're new, it is so important for you to master what you have in your hand. Master your local facilities before you expand and decide that you're going to go international or you're going to go to another state. Geography counts. There are organizations right behind your backyard who's looking for support, who's looking for staff support, who's looking for amazing talents. But you have to understand that they will not hire you. They will never give you a contract or an agreement if they don't take you seriously. So when you decide on who you're going to serve and who you're going to hire, then you're going to start thinking, let me start thinking about my billing and my payroll and all these things. So many of my clients usually ask me, what should come first? Should the hiring go before the contract, or should I get the contract first and the hire? And I know that you may hear different schools of thoughts and different people may be saying that you try and get the contracts first and then you hire. But here's the thing. I want to say this to you. Have both of them at the same time. Both of them matter. It is so important that you hire staff, because staff without clients, you don't have a business. And clients without staff, you don't have a business. So both of them go hand in hand. My suggestion to you is work on both of them at the same time and master them. But of course, we know that the contracts are super important. The agreements are super important. And, talking about how do you get clients, that can be a whole video by itself, but I'm going to share a few tips with you, how you can position yourself in the marketplace to get some clients. Here's the thing. Remember that decision makers are highly busy. I was a decision maker once in my organization, so I know how busy it can get. So if you make 4 calls and you did not get a chance to speak to a decision maker, never give up. Keep on trying. So the first thing you want to do is decide, who are you going to make these calls to? Are these calls going to be made to a hospital or to a long-term care? Say you're going into a hospital or long-term care. I usually think about the decision maker. Start with HR, start with human resource director. And the reason why it is important to start with them is because they will steer you in the right direction. If you make a call and you go through the operator, just explain who you are. Let them know what you have to provide, what kind of service you want to give, and you want to connect with the human resource director. Never ask the hospital administrator who is in charge of the agency nurses. You can if you want, but from my experience, just go straight to the HR director You may get an HR director and assistant, start telling them, you know, what you are about to do. How can you help them? How can you staff them? And have your notes ready so that when you call, you know what to say. Know everything about your company, who you serve, your billing rate, your nurses, your CNAs, what you have, how many people you have, where are you located, how can you support them, what specialty do you carry? These things are super important. So when you make that first call, you're not going to tell them everything at the same time. You gently present yourself, who you are, who you serve, how can you help them? You'd love to partner with them. Partnership is super important. And if you get to communicate with a secretary or an assistant to a leadership person, to a decision maker, take advantage of that time and see if you can get the correct emails of the decision maker. You may not get it, but be very, very careful how you just brush off those assistants. Many times in those organizations, those executive assistants, they are powerful. Matter of fact, some of the organizations, they are indeed the decision makers because they have been there for so long, supporting and helping the leadership team so they can make decisions. So be very careful how you just brush them off and say, hi, I don't want to speak with you. I want to speak to the chief nursing officer or the HR director. Just little by little, whoever you get to speak with, present yourself in such a professional manner that they cannot say no to you. And if you get an email address, just make sure that you send that email and the follow-up is important. So communicate. Know your business, know your business, know your business. Understand your billing rate, know your billing rate, know what you're going to do before you make those calls. Can you just show up in the organization? Of course you can. Show up in the nursing office and just introduce yourself. You may not get a chance to speak to anyone, maybe just a staffing coordinator, but hey, you show up. That's another way. Many times you have to travel the road that many people do not travel. The less likable road. For example, how about calling the nursing supervisor on the night shift and letting them know who you are? You are in their backyard, you're a staffing agency, you're fairly new, and you don't even have to say you're new, but let them know who and what and how you can support them. You know what that nursing supervisor who cannot get the patients from the ER to the floor will do? They will present your name, your number. In the morning, they will present it to a decision maker, to the chief nursing officer to the chief nursing officer when they are making that call, when they are having their huddle meetings. See, I've done this before and I know the process is not always easy, but there's no one size fit all. Many of us are teaching according to the books, what the book says, how to get contracts. Getting healthcare staffing contract is not something that you're going to find in a business book or an entrepreneurial book. You have to test the water. What works today will not work tomorrow. What worked during the pandemic will not work today, post-pandemic. So you have to know who you are communicating with and know your business. How about the billing rate? Do you have the billing rates in your mind and thinking, how much am I going to bill the organization? When they ask them, what's my billing rate? They may ask you to send your contract with your billing rate, and you must have that ready to send. So you have to be so prepared when it comes to your contract, your bill rate, your rate that you're going to the pay rate for the staff. All of that is important. And that leads me to my next point. How much are you going to pay your staff? And how much are you going to bill? Your bill rate is going to be dependent on your pay rate. Let me say that again. Your bill rate will be dependent on your pay rate. How much am I paying my staff? You can go on a website called payrate.com or payscale.com, one of them, and you can see what's the pay rate in that state, in the market, in the environment at the time. But the best way to know the pay scale is actually talk to nurses. Check out what's going on in the community, what other agencies are paying, because you want to you want to pay according to the community standard. No state is alike. Certain state will pay, like right now, $55 an hour. Other states are paying $90 an hour and $80 an hour post-pandemic. So you want to know how much you are going to pay, and their pay is going to be dependent on the community standard. I mean, ensure that it's equal opportunity. Don't pay some friends X amount and pay another group of people another, because nurses who work with agency, they talk. They have their own discussion. They talk. They're going to be talking. They're going to be talking. They're going to be talking. Believe me, they discuss your organization in their working organization. They will say, oh, that agency there, they pay so cheap. They pay Jane $50 an hour and they are paying me $35 an hour. And listen, ensure that you're fair, you're honest. Trust is the biggest and the basic foundation of leadership as a leader in their organization. And that is why I always say, as agency owners, leadership matters. Leadership matters. You're not just leading yourself or leading your company, you're leading a group of nurses, you're leading your clients. All about leadership. I see where the companies that focus on service and leadership, they do much better than those companies who are just thinking that they're just going to do things any old way. You can't do that. It matters. All right. So your bill rate is going to be dependent on your pay rate. And here's the thing about your bill rate now. Ensure that and how much you're going to bill it's going to be dependent on your overhead. You make your own calculation. I'm going to do another video to break that down a little bit more so you can understand how to calculate the bill rate. But the bill rate is going to be based upon your pay rate, because you want to ensure that you get at least 30% markup minimum. 30%, meaning that I always shoot for 100%. Meaning if you're 100% markup, and yes, your company, what they're going to be doing, they are going to, your clients, I should say, instead of saying company, your clients are going to negotiate. If you say you want a certain amount of money, you negotiate. You never let your clients know or talk about how much you're paying your team. It's not something that you discuss. There is some amount of confidentiality there that you're going to be, your bill rate is between you and your clients. Your pay rate is between you and your team, your staff. Because the overhead can be so huge as a staffing agency that sometimes if your bill rate is too low, you can't make it. Keep your overhead down. Keep your overhead down. You have to pay taxes, you have to pay insurance, you have to pay your workers, you have to pay your virtual assistants, you have to pay yourself, you have to pay, it's a lot you have to pay. So keep your overhead down. If you're in a state that does not require an overhead, a building or an office, you can start from your home. But as time goes by, you have to expand, and have your own an office, especially if you're going to go Joint Commission accredited, which is super important. That's another topic by itself. So your bill rate is going to be based on your pay rate. And bill so you can make money at minimum of 30% markup. Can go as 50%, whatever. I'm going to do another video on that. But that is important. Let's talk about funding and payroll. Many people will say they need $50,000 to start a staffing agency, $60,000. But the answer is, it depends on you. It depends on how you want to start. You can start with very, very little, like on a shoestring budget. It's all dependent on how your organization, your clients, how are they going to pay? Are they going to pay regularly? Are they going to take a very long time to pay so you don't have money to pay your team? It all depends. But I would say, so you don't stretch yourself and you don't get frustrated about not getting paid from your clients and you don't have money to pay your staff, I would say get funding. Funding is important. Get funding and or a loan or whatever. But I would recommend funding when it comes to supporting your organization financially. And they have many funding companies out there. American Funding is amazing. You can Google that, American Funding Company. They will explain to you, they will let you know their rate, they will pay your they'll purchase all your invoices and pay your staff, and then for a percentage, of course, and their percentage is going to be based upon how long your clients take to pay you. So ensure that in your contract, when you're submitted to your clients, you have a 30 days turnaround, or maybe not more than 45 days. Ensure that you have that agreement with them, because some clients, not that they don't want to pay you, but they are super busy. They are doing so many things. Paying you is the last thing they're thinking about right now. They need staff to take care of patients. So I want to say that to you. So that's important. Your payroll and your funding is important. And get one of those payroll system like Paychex is good, or Augusta. One of those companies. They have many of them out there. Do your research and see which of them matter. Okay? This video is all about the basic things that you need to start. And of course, ensure you have a CPA to help you pay your quarterly taxes and pay your bills. You don't want to owe Uncle Sam any money. All right? So ensure that is something you want to work on. So we talk about the billing, we talk about payroll, we talk about back offices. Remember that you can have a company like Real-Time Staffing, or one of those companies can do all your payroll for you right now. Brian Nagel is excellent. Brian Nagel, you can contact him and he'll assist you with the payroll system, the funding, the insurance, and all these things. And his number is 516-680-1304. They have a back office within their company, and then he will help you as far as your payroll system is concerned, your funding, your insurance, whatever. Talk with him, give him a call, and he'll give you more information. Okay, so I'm going to wrap up this video, but I want to share with you those tips and tricks and strategies. But overall, leadership matters, service matters. And if you want to learn more about how to build and grow your staffing agency, I am going to do another workshop, not until January, by the way. So connect with us, connect with our company, Brilliant Healthcare Consulting, or send me an email to info@brillianthealthcaregroup.com. Once again, it's info@brillianthealthcaregroup.com. I'd love to help you with your journey as far as building and creating and growing and launching your staffing agency. Okay? I would love to help you build, grow, lead, and launch your staffing agency as best as you can. There's a need out there for great staffing. There's a need for great nurses. I cannot tell you any organization right now that's not short-staffed. And you are there to work with them. You are there to be the answer. So get ready for 2024 and build the best staffing company that you can ever be, and be a servant leader.